Hey YouTube, how's it going? Today I present you another problem I have with my Acura TSX 2004. The same principle should apply to Honda Civics, Honda Accord, Honda CR-V, and other Acura because it's the same basic knowledge that I'm trying to share with you guys. So the main problem I was having was I had this light right here. This is the airbag light for the driver's steering wheel. And other symptoms I also had were the controls on my steering wheel didn't work at all. The horn didn't work at all. So the cruise control didn't work at all. What else? Cruise control. And then I had this light right here. So these symptoms usually point out to the clock spring, which is a link between the controls and functions of the steering wheel to your car's computer. So if you have these three symptoms, then it's most likely you have a problem with the clock spring. So today I'm going to share with you guys how to change the clock spring in the TSX 2004, but it should be the same for any other Hondas. Alright, so this is the clock spring module itself. So it's basically you have some tape wires inside, and it can conduct the connections, and not only it conducts the connections, but it can loop all around, and it's very flexible inside this module. Whenever you have a problem with all these functions I mentioned, it's because the loop or the band has ripped, so it no longer functions. So all your steering functions does not work because this module cannot bring any connectivity to the computer. So it tells you there's a problem with your airbags, and your horn doesn't work, your control volumes doesn't work, and nothing works because this little guy cannot bring any informations to your computer. So today I'm going to teach you how to change it. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Of course, you had to remove the battery connection earlier and then wait 5 minutes. By waiting 5 minutes, you're making sure no relays or capacitors are keeping the voltage, because you don't want to mess with the airbag, right? So that's the safety measure. And I suggest also locking your steering wheel first by wiggling left and right, so the steering wheel can be, it won't move at all. So this way you can, after removing the bolt of the steering, you can easily remove the steering wheel itself. Just remove this cover here. This cover will reveal two connections. One connection for the horn, and the other connection should be for the airbag. So this is the main connection for the horn. So how it works is you have a ground and a 12 volt, and it links together when you press on the button, and then it honks. And this is the cable. All you do is you push it toward the back, and then you pull it. Alright, so a lot of people has wondered if you really need the steering wheel puller. To be honest, I've never needed the steering wheel puller, and I've always changed steering wheels without the need of having a steering wheel puller. After removing the bolt, just tighten it a little bit, so whenever you try to wiggle super hard the steering wheel, at least it won't come flying into your face. And then after it's completely loose, you remove the bolt. So after that, you can remove the steering wheel. There's also this white connector that you have to remove, that you see in the middle, this one here. After you remove it, well, everything's going to be completely disconnected from the steering wheel to the clock spring itself, and then you can remove the steering wheel. Just put it aside. Alright, so there you go. This is the new clock spring I have, and this is your clock spring. So remove the upper top plastic trim, and then the lower plastic trim as well. The lower one has 3 or 4 screws. Mine had only 3. Probably someone tried to disassemble it, so that's why I have a less job to do. But you might have to remove 4 screws. They are Phillips. Use a Phillip number 1 and it should work. I usually try to take out the steering wheel more and try to lower it in order so I can remove the steering wheel plastic trim easily. Now you have to remove the bottom part of the dash because there's a connector around there that you need to disconnect. And there you go, this is it. After you disconnect it, well, everything has been disconnected from the steering wheel itself. The clock spring is finally loose. Just take it out. Alright, so you have a little tab here which is gonna make the new clock spring click right here. After it's properly installed, everything is nicely tight. We have a little yellow plastic tab here. It allows the clock spring to not rotate too many turns because these are balanced. There's a certain rotation you have to respect. Just don't go and mess around with this, because if it's not in the correct rotation, a certain amount of turns, and then you turn the steering wheel forcefully, it's gonna rip the wire tape again. And then you start putting back all your trims. Of course, for the clock spring, don't forget that earlier you had to connect the two connectors, the top one and the lower one. I'm still keeping the plastic tab right here until I put the steering. Now, before putting the steering, I remove the tab. Don't forget the little two connectors, which it has to go through the rear of the steering wheel, and then connect the yellow connector in the center. And then after you put it, the airbag, don't forget there's two Torx 25 screws that you have to Torx properly behind the steering wheel. And then don't forget to put back your battery, and then it will be fine. And then we can test if it works or not. Of course, don't forget to tighten the center bolt. Alright, so we see here on my dashboard that the airbag or SRS light is gone, first of all, and then my honk or horn worked perfectly. Also, the controls on the steering wheel worked, and let's start here to give it a try. Oh, you guys see? No more airbag light. Hey, hooray! So the other red light you see is just the seatbelt, because I'm on my parking and I didn't put my seatbelt, so no worries about that. And today, as I showed you earlier, we have fixed the problem of the airbag light, and that is if it's combining the three symptoms I have explained to you guys itself. And for this model, we have used an SDA Y21, but this one is for the Accord, and the TSX is A21, I think, or something else. And this version is the navigation one, and it worked with the Y21, which is the $25 on eBay. That's the main reason why I used it, because a used one was just for the TSX was $150, and I told myself $25, why isn't it worth trying, right? And it works. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something today. If you guys like this kind of video, please subscribe. I really like to do this kind of videos, and I hope I can help people out there and help you save some money.